Hello and thank you for joining us on Nationwide today. We are live on the network service of the NTA. I'm Hawa Salihu Adama. You can follow us live on our website nta.ng/live and all our other social media platforms displayed on the screen for updates. President Muhammadu Buhari has left Abuja for Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates. The president was seen off at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport by his Chief of Staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, and the UAE Ambassador to Nigeria, Dr. Fahad Ubaid Al-Tafak. Others were the Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Kali Baba, Director General, Department of State Services, Yusuf Magajibechi, and other senior government officials. While in Abu Dhabi, the Nigerian leader is expected to meet the new president of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, to convey his condolences on the passing of the former president and ruler of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. The president will also extend his congratulations to the new president and renew the bonds of long-standing friendship between Nigeria and the UAE. Under the new leadership, President Buhari looks forward to a bigger and stronger partnership for peace, stability, and prosperity of both countries. And in continuation of the consultations by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo with delegates and other critical stakeholders across the country, the All Progressives Congress presidential aspirant has visited Minna, the Niger State capital. Husseina Musa has the details.
On arrival, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, paid homage on the Emir of Minna, Umar Faruk Bahagu, to formally intimate the royal father of his political ambition to vie for the position of President of Nigeria. The Vice President, alongside members of his entourage, thereafter moved to Government House, where he was received by the state APC delegates and other party chieftains. The thrust of the meeting, which was interactive, dwelled on his intention to improving policies ranging from women empowerment, youth development, to combating mirage of security challenges bedeviling the country, among others. The presidential aspirant said if given the mandate to be the flag bearer of the All Progressives Congress, APC, all the yearnings and aspirations of Nigerians will be given due consideration. In Minna, Husseina Musa, NTA News.
Nigeria's Vice President and 2023 presidential aspirant Yemi Osinbajo says the APC has the greatest potential with the caliber of aspirants in the party to enhance national development in the country. Osinbajo said this after meeting with delegates from Rivers State in Port Harcourt. Kingsley Amajiri completes the report.
It was a closed-door interactive meeting between the Vice President and Rivers State delegates. This engagement is part of his nationwide consultation with party leaders ahead of the party's primaries. The Vice President spoke with journalists on the outcome of the engagement.
Our party is, obviously, as you know, not just a ruling party, but the party that has the greatest potential to do the best for this country. So what we spent our time doing today was talking more about national issues, about issues of development. And we're all at one that we need a lot of work, we have to do a lot of work. And we're willing and able to do the work.
On the issue of the crisis in the state chapter of APC, he restated the need for unity among members of the party in Rivers State, noting that the party has the capacity to resolve the issues. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amaechi, NTA News.
And still on the 2023 presidential election, two former top security chiefs have endorsed Chibuike Rotimi Amaechi as their choice presidential aspirant under the APC, who can swiftly tackle the security challenges facing the country. Speaking at a consultation meeting in Kano, Jigawa and Bauchi states, the former security chiefs maintained Amaechi is tested and reliable.
It was a meeting that demonstrated unwavering support from APC party members, governors and traditional rulers to the APC presidential aspirant Chibuike Rotimi Amaechi. The former Chief of Army Staff General Tukur Buratai and former Inspector General of Police Suleiman Abba recognized the critical role played by Amaechi in restoring peace in Rivers State during the time of social unrest.
Who is tireless? I work with him in Rivers, as you've been told, as then brigade commander. 24 hours, we are always on the move. He was able to clear the militants. He was able to clear the kidnappers.
Very, very hardworking. He's a very kind leader. These are parties that you can never take away from him.
The presidential office says his achievement in several strata speaks volume and promised to build on his legacy project as well as improve other areas of the economy if given the chance.
I'll bring my sense of judgment, wealth of experience to bear so that we can move forward.
Who is behind Buhari in this gigantic project? The answer is Amaechi. You are an achiever.
He doesn't lie, he doesn't pretend. He says it straight. So, Jigar delegates, when you think of me, think of Amaechi too.
The Emir of Bauchi, Alhaji Ridwan Suleiman Adamu, prayed for the success of Amaechi presidential team.
And the All Progressives Congress in Kebbi State has concluded the election of local government, state and national delegates across the 225 wards in the state. Usman Abdullahi Shehu completes the report.
The All Progressives Congress in Kebbi State has concluded the election of local government, state and national delegates across the 225 wards in the state. The State Publicity Secretary of the party, Isa Asalafi, at a press briefing in Birnin Kebbi said the exercise, which commenced on the 17th of May 2022, was monitored by a delegation from the national headquarters of the party led by Alisa Ad Birnin Kudu. Isa Asalafi commended members of the party for their unflinching support and commitment in ensuring that the exercise was peaceful across the state.
The exercise was concluded peacefully and smoothly throughout 225 wards of the Kebbi State and 21 local government areas of the state.
He reiterated the APC unity in the state under the leadership of Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu. Consensus was used to elect the delegates. Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA.
Also, the All Progressives Congress APC in Borno State has flagged off congresses for the election of local governments, state and national delegates that will take part in the party's primaries for state and national assembly seats, governorship and office of the president. The flag off held in Mafa, the hometown of Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, with the exercise billed to hold simultaneously across the 27 local government areas of the state. Over now to Mohammed Goni.
5 local government delegates, 5 state delegates, and the 3 national delegates were elected to represent Mapa local government area in all primaries that include state assembly, national assembly, governorship, as well as presidential primary in Abuja. Names of all the delegates who emerged through consensus were then called out, and the chairman of the party's national committee, Professor Eru.
Is that the people we have taken by consensus? Yeah. If you say yes, let me hear your yes. Let me use this opportunity to convey my deep appreciation to the chairman and members of this committee for ensuring that this exercise has taken place here in Mafa
and in all other areas of Borno State.
Representative of the Independent National Electoral Commission described the electoral process as credible. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
And it is a few days to the primaries of the main opposition party, the PDP, but it seems the party needs to call for a family meeting, as it were, with a chapter calling attention to the existence of an alleged fake delegates list ahead of the World Congresses and the National Convention. Senate Minority Leader Inaya Abaribe hinted this when he led all the members of the party in the state to the PDP national headquarters in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Courageously waged by other governorship aspirants on the platform of the PDP in Abia State, including Senator Inaya Abaribe, and some top party leaders alleged that the Abia State chapter of the party never had World Congress to produce ad hoc delegates. They want the party's National Working Committee to, as a matter of fairness and urgency, ensure that it maintained only statutory delegates to avoid regrettable mistakes for the party in the long run.
Our great party should therefore disregard any such list, especially now that INEC has come forward to clarify that it neither received any communication from the PDP National Chairman and the National Secretary to participate, nor did it monitor any such exercise.
Making public the list of statutory delegates and certified copy for the accusation is among major demands of the Abia PDP leaders to the party's national executive. Also at the PDP national headquarters in Abuja were members of the PDP New Generation demanding free and fair party primaries.
Whatever happens during the primaries, we should all take the results, and after that, we should all come together and unite as one to win the general election.
The PDP New Generation has also constituted an 80-member campaign council for the June 2022 Ekiti governorship election. Part of the council's mandate is to sensitize the youth against all forms of electoral malpractice. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And we are not done with politics, as the tenure of the FCT Area Council's chairman has been extended by 1 year. This follows the recently signed electoral law of 2022, which stipulates that the tenure of the office of the chairman of the area councils in the FCT will now be 4 years instead of 3 years. The minister of the FCT, Mohammed Musa Bello, disclosed it in Abuja, while making reference to the recent court judgment directing the suspension of the planned inauguration. Let's now join Onozi Yakubu.
In March 2019, the FCT area council elections were held and the elected chairmen and councillors were inaugurated on the 20th of May 2019 under the 2010 Electoral Act. Based on this, the tenure of the chairman will elapse Thursday, the 19th of May 2022. After which the newly elected chairmen and councillors are to be inaugurated on Friday, 20th May 2022. However, the FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello noted that there was a subsisting court judgment directing the suspension of the inauguration of the newly elected chairman.
According to the judgment, the existing chairman, whose tenure was meant to expire or end today, have another 1 year to continue based on the new law. So, as a law-abiding government, the FCT administration has no option than to suspend the planned inauguration of the 6th Area Council Chairman of the Federal Capital Territory, who were duly elected some weeks ago as a result of this action or this injunction of the court.
Meanwhile, the minister, however, disclosed that as an entity that is very conscious of the need to abide by the rule of law, the administration will comply with the judgment, but added that it will appeal the judgment so that the correct position of the law will be determined by the legal process. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Let's now head to our Lagos Network Center, where Kendi will guide us on top stories from that zone. It's over to you.
Thank you, Awa. As the menace of commercial motorcycle riders continue to threaten peace and tranquility across the metropolis, Lagos state government has imposed a fresh ban on their activities in some local government and local council development areas in the state. Musa Toliat completes the report.
On February 2020, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu placed a restriction order on the operations of commercial motorcyclists in 6 local governments and local council development areas of the state. However, they flouted the restriction order over time and returned to highways, bridges, and other areas covered by the prohibition order. Arising from the continued lawlessness and utter impunity by motorcyclists, popularly known as Okada riders, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu instructed police hierarchy at an emergency security meeting to enforce to the letter a total ban on the operations of Okada riders in Etiosa, Ikeja, Surulere, Lagos Island, Lagos Mainland, and Apapa local government areas.
We will not sit back and ensure that criminal-minded people will use that mode of transportation to now continue to perpetrate crime and criminality in Lagos. Lives are being lost on a daily basis. Accidents are being happening on a daily basis. There's been complete breakdown of law and order, and they do not even respect any form of the laws that we have on the state again. All the security operatives, will be joining you and be working with you to ensure that we all implement this agreed objective that we put forward.
The governor's decision is in line with the state's transport sector reform law of 2018 to immediately address the menace of Okada operations in the listed areas. Enforcement of the ban will take effect from June 1st this year. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
The Executive Order Number 5 is a deliberate effort by the federal government to evolve goods and services from research and development strategy of the National Innovation System. As this yielded the desired results, Ingino Adams in this report tells us.
Preference for foreign to indigenous products and services across all sectors of the economy is a common scenario in developing countries across the universe, Nigeria inclusive. As part of efforts to change this narrative, President Muhammadu Buhari signed into law the Executive Order Number 5 on the 2nd of February 2018. This propelled the National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion to present a software for the establishment of database for Nigeria professionals to members of the public as part of means to implement the presidential order.
We must have to patronize what is made in Nigeria. It's when you patronize, then the owners of those technologies will get encouraged to do more, and we begin to reduce the shackles of dependency on imported technologies, products, or services.
Timely application of software such as this, stakeholders believe, is a pathway to viable and sustainable economic growth.
If we have the database of professionals and skills available in this country, it will help in a large way for the Ministry of Interior to make sure that companies bringing in expatriates, it is only those we don't have in the country.
But then it can be challenged in court because it doesn't have legislative backing. So that's why we are advocating that we upgrade this Executive Order 5 from an Executive Order Extraordinary into a legislative act.
Experts say engaging indigenous professionals in the execution of government jobs will improve the skills of indigenous professionals as well as protect indigenous firms. In Lagos, Hinginu John Adams, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on all the social media handles displayed on your screen. Time now for a short break. The news continues with Amina in Kaduna after the break.
Network Center. It's countdown to a new dawn for residents of the adjoining communities of Kabbalah Costain and Berna, with the bridge linking the two areas already standing tall. Haruna Mohammed reports that the construction of the bridge has taken off the streets idle hands of this community.
Before the idea of constructing this bridge, the two communities had difficulties linking up. It's either they go through a canoe across the bridge, which could be faster but risky, or drive around, which could take an hour or more, especially at early hours and evening. But when the bridge is open for traffic, the journey is reduced, making it easy for commuters. For the state government, this is strategic.
If this road is completed, we benefit.
The 270 meters double-length bridge over River Kaduna is close to completion, with majority of effort focusing on the road linking Barnawa and Kabala Costin.
Still working on the parapet, the barrier for the walkway. We're still working on it, and that is in the next 2 weeks we should be able to put asphalt.
When this bridge is completed, Kaduna will boast of having 3 bridges across River Kaduna, critical links connecting the northern and southern part of Kaduna metropolis.
The bridge is among projects expected to be commissioned in the second visit of President Muhammadu Buhari. In Kaduna, I am Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has discovered cannabis farms in 3 local government areas of Kano State. The state commandant of the NDLEA, Abubakar Idris Ahmad, disclosed this during a familiarization visit to members of the Kano Concerned Citizens Initiative as part of the achievements recorded by the command since the assumption in March this year. Elizabeth Ila reports.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Kano Command, has in the last 3 months arrested 19 males and 8 female suspected drug traffickers for alleged smuggling of hard drugs into the state. The command also located 3 cannabis farms in Kiru, Bichi and Dawakin Tofa local government areas of the state, in addition to confiscating about 2 tons of assorted hard drugs. The state commandant of the NDLEA in Kano, Abubakar Idris Ahmad, says there's currently an influx of a drug called methamphetamine, popularly known as ice, and also an increase in the use of pentazocine injection, especially by women.
It's becoming so rampant, and most of the times that we go out on operations, we used to get that. So my focus is seriously on that. And then apart from that, we have pentazocine. It is an injection. It finds its way into our homes.
The commandant, who assumed duty in March this year, visited the Kano Concerned Citizens Initiative, a forum of outstanding citizens of the state, to seek for their guidance in tackling issues of drug abuse, as he decorates the leader of the KCCI as an ambassador of the NDLEA. He further called on the general public to report any suspected activities or persons for swift action. In Kano, Elizabeth Yila, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's back to Hawa in Abuja.
Many thanks, Amina. Back here in Abuja, farmers, fishermen, and other people living and working around the Gubi Dam in Bauchi State can now smile as the federal government commissions the newly rehabilitated Gubi Dam for use. The dam, which provides water for farming activities as well as fishing, is part of federal government's efforts at making potable water available to rural.
The third National Urban Water Sector Reform Project, under which the upgrading of the Bauchi Township Water Supply Scheme has been executed, is part of a deliberate policy of this administration to promote better living for our populace by increasing access to improve water supply in some selected states, including Bauchi.
The project commenced in 2015 with Bauchi State as one of the selected beneficiary states, a key measure to address the water shortage challenge in Bauchi metropolis.
It was rehabilitated with the support of the World Bank. Translating good ideas into action will engender good governance and bring dividends to the governed. Governor Udom Emmanuel said this when he received participants of the Senior Executive Course 44 of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuro Jos. Susan Asuko reports.
The visit by participants of the Senior Executive Course 44 of the Nigerian Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies is geared towards interrogating and interfacing with the people with the aim of strengthening local governance in Nigeria, as well as make recommendations for possible solutions to prevailing challenges. Governor Udom Emmanuel, who was represented by Secretary to the State Government, Emmanuel Ekuem, notes that Nigeria is in dire need of critical thinkers who can translate ideas into action for the overall good of the citizens.
For the person that is in charge is keenly interested in making sure that governance impacts people. Even democracy is not sustainable without taking care of the masses.
Leader of the team, Brigadier General Chukwuemeka Odaya, retired, notes that the level of development will go a long way to strengthen local government administration in the state.
And the purpose is to interrogate the theme by Mr. President on strengthening local governance in Nigeria, challenges, options, and the opportunities.
In Uyo, Susan Asoko, NTA News.
The Supreme Court has adjourned hearing on the suit filed by President Muhammadu Buhari and the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice against the National Assembly to Thursday, May 26, 2022. In the suit, the plaintiffs are challenging the inclusion of Section 84, subsection 12 in the Electoral Act 2022. Over now to Dele Atumbi.
In the suit, President Muhammadu Buhari, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abuja Malami SAN are the plaintiffs, while the National Assembly is the defendant. The Supreme Court in this matter is serving as the court of first instance as the matter in question is between the President and the National Assembly. President Muhammadu Buhari and the Attorney General of the Federation are challenging the inclusion of Section 84, subsection 12 in the Electoral Act 2022, which bars political appointees from voting and being voted for at party primaries and national conventions of political parties. Lateef Fagbemi SAN, counsel to the plaintiff, was served the application for joinder by the counsel to the Rivers State Government and the Rivers State House of Assembly, Emmanuel Ukwala SAN, at the court before the commencement of hearing. Counsel to both plaintiffs, Lateef Fagbemi SAN, and that of the defendant in the matter, Kayode Ajulo, did not oppose the application of the joinders. The seven-man panel of justices, headed by Justice Muhammad Musa Datijo, granted the application of the Rivers State Government and the Rivers State House of Assembly as parties in the matter. For the expeditious hearing of the matter, all court processes are to be served on the interested parties by Friday and replies latest by next week Wednesday.
To me, the matter is urgent, since we are not allowed to reply orally, I had to make a choice, however hard or difficult. So that was what I did.
The main objection is when you believe this matter could not be filed here, and that is the main reason that what is being done, we believe it should not be here, and as a council, we'll file preliminary objection. But to go into the detail, let's wait for the outcome of the court.
It is expected that at the next adjourned date, counsel in the matter will take their turn to adumbrate and adopt their final written addresses. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
The security matters now on the attention of the Commissioner of Police, FCT Police Command, Babaji Sunday, has been drawn to a video making the rounds on social media platforms concerning an incident credited to have happened in Lube, Abuja. The CP wishes to state categorically that there is no such incident in Lube, as he is currently on patrol with operatives around the Lube Airport Road access. He urges well-meaning members of the Abuja community to go about their lawful duties as the police are on their toes to ensure the safety of lives and property. Still staying with security matters, two suspects who were allegedly involved in the kidnap of students at the Baptist Bethel Academy and Greenfield University in Kaduna State have been arrested by operatives of the Special Tactical Squad of the Nigeria Police Force. Francis Form reports that the suspects confirmed that they carried out several kidnappings along the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway and other neighboring states.
1 year after the kidnap of Baptist Academy and Greenfields students, these two suspected kidnappers and their gang currently at large are said to have played a key role in the kidnap and the killings of the 5 Greenfield students.
They took the student, including female student, to a place at a location where after raping them, they shot them to death.
Investigation by the police also confirms their involvement in the killings of 2 police personnel and 1 vigilante along Abuja-Kaduna Expressway.
They have been responsible for many kidnapping cases along Kaduna-Abuja Expressway.
While this gang of kidnappers are said to be responsible for the kidnappings in Michika and Mubi in Adamawa State, the suspects demonstrated how they chained their victims with padlocks before taking them to their base for profiling.
And of course, efforts are ongoing to apprehend other members of this gang.
One of the suspects told the police that proceeds of their crimes are kept in a dog hole. These suspects from Niger State are said to be threatening to kill their victims if they fail to pay a specific amount of money. Here again is another gang of kidnappers operating within the Federal Capital Territory. The police confirms that the gang were initially recruited as security guards in one of the estates in Abuja. Cash worth 2 million naira and other weapons have been recovered from the suspect, while the police assures that all suspects will be charged to court at the end of investigation. Franks is from NTA News.
More security-related stories when we return from our network centers. First is Chineye in Enugu.
Thank you so much, Hawa. Welcome to Enugu. The Enugu State government has received a team of course participants and faculty officials of the National Institute for Security Studies, Abuja, who are on a study tour of the state, researching on issues of security, conflicts arising from climate change, and economic development in Africa. The team, led by the syndicate supervisor, Jubril Biaru, was received by the secretary to the state government, Professor Simon Otuanya. Susan Eze reports.
These are the Executive Intelligence Management course participants of Syndicate 5, drawn from 21 strategic agencies in Nigeria and 4 African countries, Gambia, Ghana, Niger, and Rwanda, as well as some faculty members from the National Institute for Security Studies. The team is in Enugu to x-ray the theme of the program, the global climate challenge, prospects and priorities for economic development and conflict resolution in Africa. The aim is to obtain real-time experiences on environmental issues in Enugu State and how the state is managing the attendant security and development implications. The research is taking them around the country, Africa, and beyond.
At the end of all the stuff, the report will be put together and the findings will be available to the federal government and the state government to guide in policy and assist in resolving some of these issues.
Discussing with the delegation, the Secretary to the Enugu State Government saw the theme as apt, as the state is also grappling with the effects of climate change. He shared ideas on how the state government is addressing the issues of erosion, waste management, and deforestation.
We would expect that at the end of the day, we would have had a detailed plan of how this country can go and policy formulated for our country to deal with climate change at the global challenge.
As Nigeria and indeed Africa contend with a myriad of environmental and security issues arising from climate change, this program is expected to impact on the participants the knowledge to address the dynamic security challenges and conflicts in their respective countries. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
Loss of fertile land, increased pollution, lower yields and higher production costs, among others,
have been identified as notable consequences of erosion to the socio-economic sectors. Respondents from Enugu State commended federal government intervention towards arresting the trend and called for concerted efforts to tackle the menace. Chidi Okurafo reports.
Over the years, some communities in various states of the Southeast Zone have suffered losses of farmland, houses, and crops to erosion and ecological disaster. These include flooding, gully and wind erosion, which have swept and eroded the land beyond measure. In Enugu State, people from communities like Ajale Osala, Nsude, Ihata, Abaja and Enugu Ngwo recounted their urges before the intervention of the federal government.
Look at this house. You can see that this house was at the verge of collapsing. So the first thing they did was to create a way because there was no way to come in here. They had to come from the other end, started filling to cross over here in order to save this particular house.
We couldn't control it. We couldn't. Because of the nature of this kind of erosion. The swift intervention of new map is not something that one should easily forget. And the cooperation of our governor, the Enugu State government.
In over 1,000 gully erosion sites across Anambra State, with the collaboration of the state government and Nigerian Erosion and Watershed Management Project, NEWMAP, Anambra State is rescued from being submerged. In Iruama Uruala, in Ibato local government area of Imo State, federal government projects to arrest erosion menace is ongoing. Ebonyi State is not left out in the intervention as many sites has been handled by the new map. In Enugu, Chidi Okrafo, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Enugu. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on all our social media platforms, Twitter handle at NTA News Now, our Facebook page at NTA Network News, and our YouTube channel at NTA Live. We'll take another break here. Nationwide, we continue with Susan in Makodi after this break. Do stay.
Good to have you join us in Makodi. As political parties across the nation prepare to hold their party primaries, the Independent National Electoral Commission of the state says it has put in place all modalities to ensure credible party primaries. Head of Public Enlightenment and Voter Education, Emmanuel Okwe, enjoined all political parties to obey the stipulated guidelines and regulations for the conduct of the primaries. Moses Ajao Ode reports.
According to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC Benue State, the Commission is adequately prepared to monitor the party primary elections to ensure that parties adhere to electoral guidelines. The Commission notes that despite the current adjustments of date by some political parties, it remains resolute to provide a level playing ground for all political parties.
All our field workers are ready. We are on ground in each of the local governments. And where it extends works, we have enough manpower that we send to the world level.
Officials of some of the political parties expressed confidence in their readiness for the party primaries.
Whoever is feeling
Today we are holding our House of Reps primaries, and this will terminate into the Cuba primaries for the 26th of this month.
So far, it is the new Nigerian People's Party primaries that is ongoing in the state, while that of the All Progressives Congress, APC, and the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is slated for Thursday, 26 May 2022, and Saturday, 21st May. In Makodi, Moses Ajao Ode, NTA News.
The 2022 West Africa Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination has commenced in Benue State, with about 44,000 candidates sitting for the examinations in the state. Elias CTR, who visited some schools in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, reports that the examination is being taken in 683 schools as centers for WAEC.
Emergence of the coronavirus pandemic since 2019 altered several aspects of life, including the conduct of external examinations for schools. With the reduction in cases of infections as a result of concerted efforts by various stakeholders, normalcy has returned, with the 2022 WAEC examination coming in its regular time.
We are well prepared, and as you can see, the laboratory, the ICT, and the hall is well prepared and arranged for us.
The WAEC is something we need to focus and read very well. So I tried my best, and then I knew I'll make it.
Principals of some schools describe this year's exercise as hate-free.
At the core, we have a place for them to wash their hands before they get into the exams. And during the exams, we enforce the use of face masks.
We have no hitches. We are waiting the exams. God willing, the exam as the result will come. It will be very, very successful.
This year, the children are well prepared in school also, because we have time to prepare them even during the holidays.
Apart from devising new technologies to improve on its task of curbing examination malpractice and ensuring reliability of students' results, WAEC State Office has also created 29 custodial centers and distribution points across the state to ease access to examination materials. The WAEC examination, which commences on 16th May, is to end on 24th June 2022. In Makurdi, Elias, HF, NTA News.
And that's our package from Makurdi. It's back to Hara in Abuja for more on NTA Nationwide.
Very well, Susan. Thank you. And more than 40 bandits have been killed in Kaduna State by combined ground security operatives, leading to the destruction of different bandits' camps, neutralizing more than 60 bandits within the first quarter of the year. This is part of the security scorecard presented to the Kaduna State Security Council meeting. The meeting, presided over by Governor Nasir El-Rufai, saluted security agencies in the state for decimating the bandits' camps. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Musa Bello, has directed a total shutdown of the Day Building Materials Market, Abuja, indefinitely until perpetrators of Wednesday afternoon's riots are fished out. The minister gave the directive while on an on-the-spot assessment of the extent of damages at the market. Onoto Yakubu completes the report.
The fires were still raging as at the time the minister arrived at the scene of the riots. He was briefed on arrival by the Commissioner of Police FCT, Babaji Sunday, Amakchama, Adamu Abdullahi Candido, leadership of the markets, and community leaders.
Appeal to all the residents and the market officials to talk to their members to maintain law and order.
Please, let's cooperate with them because the police will take over this place going forward.
Mohammed Musa Bello described the incident an unwarranted riot by hoodlums who seek to disturb the peace of the territory.
In the meantime, the timber market is closed indefinitely until we sort out this and we identify all those who paraded themselves with guns. All of them should be identified. Every person should be identified. Or else all of us here will not enjoy our businesses.
He described as insensitive the misinformation making the rounds in the social media, reporting that there was an ethno-religious crisis in the nation's capital.
All the leadership of the various stakeholders here have lived here in peace for many, many years. It is simply a matter of criminals and hoodlums taking the law into their hands.
4 lives were lost in the riot, with the minister directing security agencies and the community leaders and leaders of the market as well to identify the perpetrators of the dastardly acts. Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
And troops of Operation Hadinkai have rescued 63 kidnapped victims between the 28th of April and 19th May 2022. The Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Bernard Onyuku, who announced this at a news conference in Abuja, said 54,889 terrorists and their families also surrendered to troops in the northeast.
1st to 14th May 2022, a total of 1,627 Boko Haram terrorists and their families surrendered to own troops at different locations within the theater. They comprise of 231 men, 441 women, and 855 children. As at 16th May 2022, a total of 53,262 Boko Haram elements and their families have so far surrendered.
Similarly, troops of Operation Delta Save and Dagated the Barao discovered and deactivated 167 illegal refining sites with 156 storage camps. Sports is next.
Nigeria is set to benefit from different International Handball Federation programs after recent consultations between the Commonwealth Handball Association and the World Body. This was disclosed by Secretary General Commonwealth Handball, Saidu Jibril, while featuring an NTA sports guest, where he further assured an improvement in standards and organization of the 2022 Handball Premier League in Abuja from May 22.
Most of the African English-speaking countries are really urging for tournament. They are really urging for handball equipment and other needs that will encourage handball within the Commonwealth countries in Africa and other parts of the African Commonwealth nations.
In another development, Handicap 7 player Ibrahim Abdullahi of Lafia Golf Club, Nasarawa, has set the target of winning the golf event at the 2022 National Sports Festival after he shot a 3-over-course par 71 for a 63 net to emerge overall winner of the inaugural Captain and Lady Captains Cup tournament at the Ibok Ite Ibas Golf Club, Karishi, Abuja.
This is just a little bit of the surprise we want to spring up. This is the first tournament we're organizing as a club after commissioning.
It has brought a lot of enlightenment and then exposure to the golf course. From now on, you hear more of Ibas on media everywhere.
The one-day championship attracted over 142 players competing in veterans, men's and ladies categories, prompting organizers to assure on more tournaments in the course of the year. World Football Governing Body, FIFA, has listed 6 female referees, including Rwandan Salima Mukasanga, in a short list of 129 officials for the World Cup in Qatar come November. It is the first time women will officiate at a major men's tournament as part of more inclusion of women in the game by FIFA. With Sports Update, Ayodiji, Makinde, NTA News.
And that's Nationwide today. We thank you for watching. But remember, you can partner with us as we fight against rape and rapists. Thanks for watching. I'm Hawa Salihu Adama. Good evening.